Okay guys, welcome to another Basement Collective Batrep, and we've been thanking you for all the feedback. We've been loving it, so today we have another Batrep for you. This time it's going to be a 2,500 point battle. It's going to be Grey Knights versus Orcs. So here's the Grey Knight army. I went for an elite style army, so of course we have the Mage Knight over here. You guys might have seen the tutorial on that. If you didn't, well, not the tutorial, the showcase. If you didn't, go ahead and check out the YouTube channel a couple of videos back, or the blog, basement-collective.com. And then we have the Warhound Titan. Now this Warhound Titan, I know is painted in my Grey Knight schemes. Of course, it's got the Inquisitional freehand right there. And I know it's not fluffy for a Grey Knight to be part of a Marine chapter. Or, sorry, Warhound a part of a Marine chapter, or today he is. And then he has his Knight Titan with him. And this is a Lancer, a forged with Lancer, and painted by the same painter, actually. A local painter for me. He's a really great painter, and I love it. So, yeah, so this would be your Knight Lancer. They both have the skulls right there and over there, and I just love these models. So today, yeah, so we got the three super heavies. The Knights are actually going to be an allied detachment. I am playing a bound list with Knights as allies, and my Warhound is my Lord of War. Warhound has a plasma gun and the turbo laser destructor, and this is going to be the Knight with 2 shots, 2 Pyblast. I think that's the Knight Paladin. Yeah, I think so. And then and this guy's got his Lance, which is 6 shots, strength 7, AP2, and his Force shield. Okay, and now on to the troops. We have one squad of Terminators, as you see them, with 5 swords and a cannon. And then we have another squad of Terminators, as you see them, with halberds and a cannon. And finally we have the Paladin squad. We have one with a hammer, 2 side cannons, hammers, another with a hammer, the banner, the apothecary, and just one with a halberd. And then finally the level 2 librarian. So there you have it, 2,500 points of Grey Knights. Okay, and here we have Ricky with his 2,500 point Orc army. So where do you want to start here?
Okay, here we got a mob of 30 shooter boys with a knob power claw boss pole.
Okay.
Then we got 20 slugger boys with a knob big chopper. Then we got a truck and 3 war buggies here with twin link rockets.
That's a truck, by the way.
Yeah. We've got 2 KFF Max. We've got Stompy the Stomper.
Stompy the Stomper.
Or we should say Crushy the Stomper.
Crushy the Stomper.
9 Tank Busters. Blitzer Bomber.
Quite well painted Blitzer Bomber.
We got 25 Sluggers with a knob power claw boss pole in there. And then we've got the formation Gazgul's Bully Boys. That's 5 units of 5 Mega Knobs. And then we've got
3 units of 5 Mega Knobs.
Or sorry, 3 units of 5 Mega Knobs. And then we've got War Boss in Mega Armor with a Lucky Stick.
So is Gazgul in there?
No.
So it's called Gazgul's Bully Boys without Gazgul.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. So there you have it. 2,500 points of Orcs. We'll come back to you with mission type and deployment. Hey guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to play out of the Orc supplement. There's a mission in there we're going to play for this mission. It's called the Altar of War. Log is, I think, how it goes. Anyway, so this is basically, it's set up as normal gameplay. So it's going to be Dawn of War, him versus me. But now it's got special rules. Now there's 3 objectives which the non-Orc player gets to choose and place in his deployment zone. So we're going to have one right there. Another right there, and finally the other one right there. So now this is how it reads. So at the end of the game, it's just the person with the most victory points win. So whoever's holding these objectives gets 3 victory points at the end of the game. There's still First Blood, Slay the Warlord, and Line Breaker. But now the special rule for the Orcs is sustained attack. Now the way that reads is each time a unit of Orc boys from the Wog Gazgul players army is destroyed completely, remove it from play and place it in ongoing reserves where it will be available to return to the battlefield at the start of the enemy player's next turn. These units enter play from any point along the Wog Gazgul's player's table edge as depicted on the deployment map. There's your deployment map. So basically he has 3 units of boys. They're all 30 strong.
No, there's 20, 25, and 30.
There's a 20, 25, and 30. So what happens is if I kill those, they go onto ongoing reserves and come back on my turn from his table edge. So it's like an onslaught of boys, but they they balanced that by putting the objectives in my table edge. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't quite help me. I mean, it's good, but with only my 3 super heavies on the table, they have to stay back instead of going to kill orc boys like they should be. But anyways, yeah, so that's the mission type, and we'll come back to it as soon as we got the Warlord traits, and we'll start the game. Okay, now for Warlord traits, I got Principles of Deceit on my Librarian. So that's going to make him take 3 penny tests at the beginning of his first turn. And then, or the beginning of the game, I guess. And then for my Psychic powers, my Warlord Librarian knows Prescience, Foreboding, and Forewarning. And of course, I have Grey Knight, so I have all the other static powers himself. And Ricky's Warlord trait is...
my Warlord is Cunning but Brutal. So, he can re-roll 1 failed armor or invulnerable saving throw each turn.
No problem. So there you have it. So now this is what the board looks like right now. We have the 3 super heavies of my deployment zone. And then over here we have 1 orc squad with the orc truck. What's inside the truck, Ricky?
That's 5 Mega Knobs and a Mega Boss.
So 5 Mega Knobs. And then we have big Stomper over here. And what's inside of there?
He's got 9 tank busters and a custom force field mech in there, along with 2 squads of 5 Mega Knobs.
Okay, and then we have the Shooter Boys, and these are Chopper Boys.
Yeah.
And then we have in reserves for Ricky, outflanking.
Rocket buggies.
And anything else in reserves?
The Blitzabomber.
Blitzabomber, yeah, that's the flyer.
And there's a KFF over in this squad.
KFF over right there. And then over here for reserves for Grey Knights, we have the 2 Terminator squads and the Paladin squad. And since I am taking the Nemesis Strike Force, they will roll for reserves on first turn. Okay, Ricky, so would you like to seize the initiative right here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh.
And that is not a seizure. Is that the correct use of that word? Probably not. Maybe it is. But anyways, we'll come back to you at the end of the Grey Knights turn 1. So we are going into the first turn of Grey Knights. Okay guys, so here we are at the end of the Grey Knights turn 1. The Paladin squad did not come in, unfortunately. And this guy moved up so he could get in range of shooting the Stomper. This guy just stayed where he was and tried to do some wounds to some orcs, which he did. And this guy unloaded his 2 shots, strength D into the Stomper, and then his 2 large plasma blast strength at AP2 on the orcs over there. We had the 2 other Terminator squads come in here and there. So the Terminator squads combined with the Mage Knight firing killed a bunch in this squad. The 2 large strength 8 blasts took out a bunch. The 2 large strength 8 blasts, yeah, took out a bunch of this squad. And then of course Stompa took he didn't make any of his invul saves, so he took 4 wounds, because he got hit with 2 strength D hits, and I rolled 2 on each wounds, D3. Unfortunately, I did not get a 6. I just wanted to mention these templates. Now, I got these templates custom made for for anything really, but I use it for my Warhound. This is made by Piazza Productions. I don't really know how to say the business name, but he does custom printing for me and everything. So there's your 10-inch one. There's your 7-inch one, so that's the Mega Blast, and that's the Apocalyptic Blast. Of course, we do have the big pie plate one that Games Workshop released, which is the Apocalyptic Mega Blast, because they're real original. But yeah, so I'll put a link for him in the description. He does custom, like this is all custom, and I got a really great deal on this. And of course, it's got my name on there. It's got our Basement Collective symbols. He does basically whatever you want. He'll charge you for it. Not that much compared to all this stuff, but like I said, yeah, check him out. I'll have a link from the description. But anyways, this is the board at the end of the Grey Knights turn 1. So we'll come back at the end of the Orcs turn 1. Okay guys, so just a bit of rule clarifications here. When we do make mistakes, if we catch them, we like to correct them. Now unfortunately, this guy's transport capacity is only 20, and Ricky had 10 Mega Knobs and 9 tank buses in it, which is actually 29. So he realized this, so what he did is he just deployed the tank busters behind here, just as he's in his movement phase. So a good thing we caught that before the game went on. So yeah, so that's what it's going to look like now. So we just thought we'd give you a rules clarification there, and we'd fix our mistake. So poor Ricky looks sad for a reason. So anyways, let's go over the board. We got some orcs that moved up here, and I think they ran. This guy with the Mega Knobs, there's 5 Mega Knobs in there, you heard me right. Moved up and ran, and then we got that orc squad right there with the Rocket Boys. They both ran, and that orc squad over here charged what was left of the Terminator squad, which was 2, killed 1, and then I broke combat and ran away. So he killed 7 of the Terminators. These 2 failed their leadership, so they're running, and that guy's 1 left after combat. And now there used to be a big metal thing. What was its name? It was Slashy or Crashy or Stompy or something.
Yeah,
but anyways, he's like, he shot all his weapons, so he did some damage, killing a bunch of Terminators, put in a couple wounds on the Lance. He's like, I got the Lancer. So he takes his Stompa and he runs him up and then charges. And now he did forget to do something, which is disembark the knobs before this, the mega knobs. So anyways, he charges my Lancer, and now Lancer gets attacked first, and the Lancer rolls 2 hits out of 4 wounds, and then he rolls to do damage, and unfortunately I rolled a 6, which more than killed his 8 wound Stompa left. So now unfortunately when the Stompa dies, the guys inside take a strength, is it 10 hit?
Strength 10 AP2.
Strength 10 AP2 hit, and since these guys got kicked out with their KFF because there's too much in there, the guys had to they took strength 10 hits, and I did not roll 1-1, so that killed the Stompa and it killed the Mega Knobs. And then the Stompa explosion scattered on this Titan, hitting him with strength D, and that Knight, so that's a Knight, and that Knight hitting on a strength 10. It did 2 wounds to him, leaving him with 2 wounds, and the strength 10 did 1 wound to the Knight. So at the end of the poor Orcs, turn 1, this is the table. So they have a lot of boys, they have some reserves, and they have Mega Knobs over there. But yeah, we'll come back to you at the end of the Grey Knight turn 2. Okay guys, so we're at the end of the Grey Knight's turn 2. Now what happened was Mr. Titan over there, he dropped the 2 strength D weapons over here, killing 7 of that squad. He then dropped his 2 big blasts right here, killing the whole squad. Mr. Titan over there dropped he dropped his big blast over here, which killed the squad. And then these Terminators shot and then charged in, and then they killed all but 2 guys and they retreated, but I lost 1 of my guys from that squad in the process. So these guys are probably going to run off the board next turn because they need to regroup on ones, but then they come back thanks to the mission. So on the start of my next turn phase, the squad that was right here, right there, will come back on his board edge. And then over here, the Lancer moved over here and shot the buggy. He blew up the buggy, and then he charged in, killing 3 of them on the charge with the strength E. They then returned because he only had 2 hull points that killed him, but he exploded and killed 1 more. So they're down to 2 knobs. So at the end of the Grey Knight turn, I have my Mage Knight, my Titan, and unfortunately my Paladin squad mishap, and they're an ongoing reserve, so thank goodness they didn't explode. So the Orc turn, he has the 2 knobs. This boy squad, these, what are those, Ricky?
Tank Busters.
Tank Busters, and these 2 guys which are going to run off the board. So we're going to come back to you at the end of the Orc turn 2. That was the end of the Orc player turn 2, and his buggies did outflank. They were right on this side. Boom. Went up to him and got actually 2 wounds on him. No, actually they got 1 wound, and his guys over there at the launchers got a wound on him too, making me fail my invul, so he's down to 3 wounds. These guys move and ran. These guys just moved. They can't run because they're slow and purposeful. The guys that were over there ran off the board, so at the start of my turn, he's going to get 2 more boys squads back in. You feel good about that, Ricky?
I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, after that Stompa.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Grey Knights have my Paladins in reserve still, so I'll roll for those. Actually, let me roll for them on camera. Why not? I rolled the red dice. Okay, guys, you got to give me luck here. And you guys failed me, so they're not in this turn either. So this is the top of Grey Knight's turn 3, so my Paladins will come in automatically. So on the board we have two single squads of Terminators right there. And then Mr. Warhound, full hull points, and Mage Knight with 3 hull points left. So, yep, that is it, and we'll come back to you at the end. Okay, guys, so we're at the bottom of the, that was the Grey Knight's turn 3, and he moved up, and so he was going to charge the Mega Knobs in case he needed to, but this guy shot his 2 Strength D weapons, and they both scattered from the Mega Knobs onto the Titan. He had 3 wounds left, and luckily for me, each strength D weapon only did 1 wound, which is actually 2 penetrant hits. Roll 2 dice, Ricky. On a 6th, my guy's actually dead. Okay, so he's not dead. So he took only 2 wounds from the 2 strength D hits, so I'm grateful for that. And then he shot the other 2 large strength 8 AP2 blasts, and they both hit. That took out the Knob Squad and 6 from here. Actually, you gotta take a leadership over here, Ricky. You lost 6 of them. And you're good. Okay, and so that happened. So then he decided to shoot the missile guys that are right here killing them. And since with the objective, right now, Ricky got his 2 squads back on the board because they went into ongoing reserves. So he has basically 3 squads of boys left on the table, and these 3 buggies. And then he has his plane that is going to be coming in as well. And then, like you saw at the beginning of the turn, my paladins didn't come in, so I have this guy with 1 wound, my warhound untouched, and I got 2 terminators over there, right there, and they're just running back to try and get some of the ejectives. Those are 2 separate units, although I think those boys over there are going to take him out. So what we'll do, so right now it's I got Slay the Warlord by killing the knob that was there, and I got First Blood when his stomp one died. Poor Ricky, Stompa, boom.
First blood on a Stompa.
First blood on Ricky's turn on a Stompa is not the best way to go for Ricky. But that's okay, it's all in fun. So what we'll do is we'll come back at the end of Orc's turn 3, and he has his buggy. Not his buggy, his plane to come in. That was the end of the Orc turn 3. These guys assaulted, multi-charged the 2 Terminators, managing to kill them, losing 3 guys. These guys did a whole lot of moving and running. Those guys did the same thing. And then he got in 3 different facings with my buggies. I declared back armor, and he managed to do the last hull point on that thing. So my Mage Knight exploded, strike D'ing one of these, and strike 10ing that, but it didn't wound. And then I killed 4 guys over here. So that's the end of the Orcs. How you feeling now, Ricky? After losing the Stompa, but you're looking pretty good in position right now.
I'm happy I killed the 2 knights. I got redemption.
Yeah, no worries. So I got this guy and my paladins coming in automatically on turn 4. So we'll come back to it at the end of Grey Knight's turn 4. And that was the end of Grey Knight's turn 4. And these paladins came on, and basically all the firing was focused on the boy squad here that was closest to claiming an objective. I think that's how I'm going to have to win this game, to keep boys off of objectives. I can deal with these guys if they get close enough, but the boys are going to be harder to deal with. So I did manage to kill all the boys there with the combined firing of this guy and the paladins, but I did not kill the KFF, unfortunately. So, and since he's an independent character, he's on his own now, he does not have to take a leadership test. So yeah, Ricky has boy squad number 1, boy squad number 2, boy squad number 3 will be returning when it's my next turn 5, and then he's got 1 buggy, 2 buggy, and the KFF. So we'll come back to you at the end of Orc's turn 4. How are you feeling about this now, Ricky?
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Feeling a little bit better.
It's not too bad. 1 Warhound and some paladins.
We them boys!
Yeah.
What
they
up?
them boys.
We them boys.
You just gave everybody the finger.
I did?
Yeah.
No, it was
Okay.
unintentional.
Okay, it was unintentional. So that's the end of Grey Knight's turn 4. We'll come back to you, like I said, at Orc's turn 4.
This should be
Okay, guys, so that was the end of the Orc player's turn. That was turn 4, right, Ricky? And so basically this guy came in, killed one of the paladins. These guys managed to get one of the void shields off with Titan, and ran up over there.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the end of the Orc player turn 3, and we're going to come back to turn 4 as the end of turn 4. Okay, guys, so that was the end of the Orc player turn 4, and this guy came on, he killed the paladin there with his shooting. These 2 manages to take a void shield off that guy. They just moved up and ran, and same thing over there, moved up and ran. On my turn, he'll get his other Orc boy squad back in. Although I think it's too late for them to do anything, because the game might end, but it might not, so we'll never see. So what you feeling now, Ricky? You feeling like you can do it?
It's going to be close.
Yeah. Basically, my game plan is to kill the closest. This guy's going to fire on this squad, whittle him down, and then these guys right here are going to hopefully take out the 2 buggies, so then we can still hold 2 objectives here. We'll try, but we'll come back to you at the end of the Grey Knight turn 5. Possibly the last turn in the game. Okay, so that was the end of the Grey Knight's turn 5. It was an okay turn. These guys moved up and took out the 2 buggies there. Unfortunately, when rolling for Prescience, my librarian right there took a perils of the rope, warred the 2, took a wound and forgot prescience. So hopefully this game ends, so that doesn't come to play. And this guy kind of whiffed. He's been rolling quite terribly this game. On scatters, I rolled 2 11s and a 12 over here. So I did kill some still, but not as much as I wanted to. And they made their leadership test. So now this squad came in at the end of at the beginning of my turn with the campaign. And then we got this squad and this squad. So if the game ends at turn 5, Ricky, it looks like I'm going to be the one that's going to win.
Yep.
But if it goes on, you still have a chance. So let's see what happens. We'll come back to you at the end of the Orcs turn 5. That was the end of the Orcs turn 5, and these guys ran, moved and ran, moved and ran, moved and ran over there. He tried to bomb. These guys are both his bombs. They both scattered off and missed. And he shot his big shooter that could just turn around a target, and that also didn't do any wounds. So that was a whole lot of movement and a couple shooting, not much. But Ricky, that's the end of turn 5. Let's roll a dice. If it rolls a 1 or a 2, I win. If not, the game continues.
It's a 3.
It's a 3, so we're going to be back at the end of the Grey Knights turn 6. And we have the end of the turn for Grey Knights turn 6. Basically, everything shot up the Orc Boar squad that was right there. Killed everything but one, and they made their leadership test. So it's going to be Orcs turn 6. End of Orcs turn 6. This guy could have actually controlled this objective because he was objective secured. So he could have, if he rolled a 6, he would have been just 3 inches, so he would have controlled that. But unfortunately, he didn't, and Ricky needed that because if it ends now, he's only holding 1 objective, and I'm holding 1, 2, plus I have Slay the Warlord and First Blood, but then Ricky does have Line Breaker. So, yep, so these guys ran, those guys ran, this one guy ran, leaving his guy behind so he didn't have to take a dangerous terrain. KFF guy moved up to join this squad. But anyways, Ricky, let's roll a dice. On a 1, 2, or 3, the game's over, and it's a grenade victory. Game is over. So, well, we're going to do the other hand here. So, epic handshake. And Ricky, that was a great game. We'll be right back for the post-game show. Okay, guys, so thank you for watching another Basement Collective Batrep. It's kind of late at night right now. We're trying to get some content to build up. Oh, by the way, I'm Kevin, and
Richard.
Richard or Ricky. Nobody really calls him Rick.
Yeah,
Richard.
Rick, I guess. Yeah,
Ricky.
be a little too formal.
Yeah. Thank you, good sir. My name is Kevin Armitage. No, but that's Ricky and I'm Kevin, Basement Collective once again. Anyways, we thank you for watching, and this was on Batrep, and with 2,500 points. Ricky likes playing the bigger games, Orcs versus Grey Knights, and it came to a pretty close. It looked bad there for the Orcs, but then the Orcs had a chance. If it would have went on a turn, the Orcs might have won, could have won, but it didn't, and that's Warhammer. And anyways, so what do you think of the game, Ricky?
At first I wasn't too happy with that Snobba getting nuked turn 1 with all the Mega Knobs on my turn.
When you give the opponent First Blood with a 700 and some point model on your turn, I can understand why you're upset about that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that Knight to cause 8 hull points on him.
Strength D, baby. The Lancer, like, just, it's a power lance. So what he does, he just sends it back a whoosh.
Yeah, I really, I underestimated the power of the Lancer.
Yeah, and he should have took them knobs out before.
And the knobs should have came out.
The knobs should have came out. So
they didn't do anything. I think they could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah, I worry if I didn't do that, what would have happened? That, I mean, that was a lot of points to that. I mean, it wouldn't have looked good for me. I took a smaller point on me because I like the idea of Ricky playing, 200 models where I'm playing the 3 super heavies, 13, and then 8, 21 is my final guess at that.
That's wild.
So 21 models. So he had me numbered about 10 to 1, and then he had boy squads coming back on, and and that was a fun thing. We can always just get bored playing the rulebook ones.
For sure. Yeah, it was cool. The 3 super heavies just dropping pie plates on hordes and hordes of boys. It just kept coming. I didn't think that was gonna.
No, definitely.
Turn out so close in the end. I thought I was done for, but the boys just kept coming.
Yeah. So what do you think about this mission compared to normal missions, like from the normal rulebook?
It was fun. I think it gives the orc player a little bit of an advantage, though, because
well, you still lost. You can't
still lost, but I mean,
no, but I understand. And you only brought 3 squads of boys, whereas if we were playing this, you could have brought like 5 squads of boys. Then it's like. But unfortunately, you see, I think I played that very smart. So what I did is I would focus fire on the closest squad, and they would die, and then so that I'd usually kill a squad a turn. So I'd always be putting you a turn behind. So they would come back, and if they're coming in at the board at the end of 4 or 5, well then they might not get to my deployment zone. So
Yeah.
it's pretty well rounded. I think it's just fun to play something outside of the box. So we sure you guys like seeing something outside the box with different lists and a different scenario.
I mean, final thoughts. I wish I could have done something with those bombs on those paladins. I'm disappointed with the Blitzer bomb. I dropped both its weapons and it basically just became
Hey,
useless.
well, that was 130 points for like 4 big shooter shots there.
Yeah, and you know what?
Twin-linked big shooter shots.
It secured that objective for me. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had anything but line breakers.
So the final score was 8-4 because he had an objective. I had 2 objectives and First Blood and Slay the Warlord. Yeah, so I think it was a great game, and I'm looking forward. Now Ricky, like Irvin, has a huge orc army, probably close to 20,000 points of orcs, if not more. And we definitely want to get our army showcased for you, not so we can show off, but if you're like me, you just like seeing other people's armies, and I know Ricky does too. Like, it's just nice to see others' collections. To see, I hope one day we can another gaming group post their videos, and they have more than us, so I can say, yes, I wasn't the only one to waste enormous amounts of money. But I think our slogan for a group is the Basement Collective, where wallets go to die. A very slow and painful death. Yeah, so
well, my army is riddled with all kinds of orky conversions and stuff. So one of these days I'll try and make a video to show those off. If anybody's interested, likes orky stuff like I do, then that'll be something to look forward to.
He likes his scratch building and everything. That's the orc player for you. Yeah, so we tried. Now we play, like I said, we play with any models. So I had 3 super heavies. My list was still bound because I took the super heavies as the knights as a detachment. When we take them as a detachment, you can actually ally 1 to 3 knights. So I did that. And like I said, we basically play any list you want, whatever you want,
And I was running the formation, the Gazgul's Bully Boys from the supplementary codex, but honestly, unfortunately, they didn't really do anything because Kevin was smart enough to
blow them up,
take them out,
get them out of here.
Able to do their thing.
Mega Knobs are true to the name. They're Mega Knobs.
Yeah,
they're pretty great. They're pretty great. So yeah, so we once again thank you for watching another Basement Collective Batrep here. Subscribe, please subscribe. If you do or if you don't, either way, let us know what we could add to the videos, what type of videos you want. If you want to see a certain player play a certain player, a certain army playing a certain army, whatever you want. And we also have a blog where we post extra stuff. It's basement-collective.com. We have tutorials, and like I said, we're trying to post content each weekday, so Monday to Friday. We plan to have a content released at 9 a.m. Most of the time it'll be a Batrep, sometime it'll be a tutorial, maybe a showcase, and on the odd Saturday and Sunday we'll throw some stuff up too, depending. So we also have a campaign running right now with the Basement Collective, so we'd like to get some of those games filmed. There's only 750 points now. It's an escalation campaign, so 12 of us, so eventually we're playing a huge 2,500 point apocalypse game, or 3,000 point, so that'd be nice to see whatever, that's 30,000, 36,000 points of Warhammer on a table. When it beat this table, we'd go back to the computer and up to film that, where we have extra tables. But thank you for watching, and I'm Kevin, and this is Ricky from the Basement Collectives, and you have yourself a wonderful day or evening wherever you're watching from.